So I want to explain about the K-Motion PTZ mode. I'm here in the UK with my K-Motion server, and I'm very lucky to have the ability to look at a network camera over in Sweden, which is pan tilt zoom. So this is a camera we're going to use to demonstrate PTZ. First thing to do, after obviously hitting the PTZ button, is hit enable, and we see the image. Next thing to do is to select the pan tilt zoom driver. Now these are the original Motion drivers that you access through Motion, which K-Motion puts a front end on, and these are the drivers which I've actually written for K-Motion to directly interface with remote cameras. The one we want is the Axis 2130 driver. I'm just going to run through the rest of the config options. Auto recalibrate. Some cameras are very poor at working out where they should be pointed. So when you set a preset position, it's a good idea to actually move them to a center position and then move them to the preset so that you eliminate any drift. It makes positioning a lot slower because the camera has to move to one position then move back again, but can sort a lot of problems with slightly cheaper cameras. Step click X and step click Y. When you click left or right, or up or down, this defines how many, if you like, motor steps that the camera positioner takes in order for it to do what you're asking. So the higher the number, the bigger the jumps in the image when you go up, down, left, right. Next one, button delay. Now this is kind of a difficult one to explain. When you click on Motion to say that you want to go left, right, up or down, the message has to go all the way to the camera and come all the way back, and this takes some time. Now the reason why that hasn't worked is because I haven't hit apply. So the camera doesn't actually know what driver it's supposed to be using. Okay. Right. So now it knows what driver, hopefully the right will actually do something. Again, as I'm saying, this takes a little while because it has to go all the way over to Sweden and then come all the way back. Now K-Motion's got some software that works out how long that takes and has a good idea of when the camera will be ready for its next movement. However, this is effectively a fudge factor, so that if, for example, these buttons become black a little bit too quick, in other words, see they go grey, the camera moves, then they should come back black again. If they come back a little bit too quick before the camera's actually settled down, you can increase the button delay, by this case by about half a second I've done. Okay, next is calibrate PTZ XY. Now I'm about to show you how you set up various positions, various presets. Before you do a preset, it's always good to do a calibrate. This again brings it to 0, 0. Not a great picture on this particular camera because it shows some guttering, but that's the center point for it. Okay, once you've done a calibrate, you then move the camera to where you want the set positions to be. Again, please remember this is in Sweden, it takes a while to bounce around. And once you're in position, you then hit the set positions for one of these different 5 buttons. Now I'm not going to set them up, it will take way too long, but I have already done some presets. So once you've hit the set positions, you can then test the position by hitting the test button. So here are some I've done earlier. The first one is enable auto park. What this means is if the camera hasn't been moved in the last, in this case 20 seconds, what it will do is it will automatically park it in a certain position. So we're actually going to enable it, apply it, a little warning to say all the demons have to restart again. Just give it a second to settle. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the camera somewhere else. So now I'm not going to do anything, and in theory in 20 seconds K-Motion will say, no one's moving the camera around, I'll bring it to its default position, in this case looking directly at the building opposite. This is useful if you're in a store or something and you want to look at fire doors or an entry exit normally, but on occasion you want to look around. So there we go. It's seen that I've done nothing, so it's brought it back to its park position. Can be kind of useful. I'm going to disable that for now and apply. Okay. Apply is really important. Okay. Next, these set positions. I've already set them up, and they're at 4 positions around the garden. Now, these aren't activated by time. These are activated by good old bash script. If you execute K-Motion PTZ11, the camera goes to preset position 1. 1, 2, preset position 2, which is the same as actually auto park. 3, preset position 3, and 4, oops, I clicked a little bit too soon before the camera had actually settled. Preset position 4. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're actually going to go into live mode, and I'll just shrink that down a little bit because I want to show you something else and show you why this is useful. If you go into the K-Motion 2 root directory and you go into examples, there's a ptz tour.shell. Now I'm going to show you what's in that. Really simple bash script. This is a bash script. While true, while forever, echo preset 1, go to the first preset. Preset 2, go to the second preset. You get the idea. So basically, after, with 10-second gap in between, it's stepping between the presets. So if I execute this, what we should in theory see, and let me move this out of the way, is the different views coming around once every 10 seconds. And you'll see down here it's showing you which presets it's selecting. Right, this can be useful for a whole lot of things really. It can be useful as what we call a tour, so that it will move around the garden repeatedly or move around wherever repeatedly. It can also be used on a cron job, so for example at 9 in the morning you want to see everybody coming into a building, at 5 at night you want to turn the camera and watch everybody coming out so you can see their faces. Could do a whole lot of things. You could have movement detectors around the garden. When a movement detector, a passive infrared, trips, it executes a script and the camera spins around. Or in commercial premises, fire doors, if someone runs out a fire door, the camera spins around to where the fire door has been opened. But you're getting the idea. It's moving around between the 4 presets. Okay. Oh, and although this is pretty obvious, every camera on K-Motion can be a pan tilt zoom camera, so you can have up to 16 all individually moving and doing what you want to do. Well, I hope that was helpful. Thank you. Goodbye.